First off, I greatly appreciate everyone joining this live chat. As we're getting ready to get started here, I'd like to cover the chat session disclaimer. This live chat in the Codings Talk series does not represent the opinions or strategies of AXA Nobel or International Paint. Additionally, I make every effort to provide accurate and up-to-date information from the global protective coatings and corrosion industries. Despite this care and attention, it is reasonably possible that the content and chat conversations within this live broadcast may have content that is incomplete and or incorrect. The information and chat conversations on this live broadcast are offered without any form of guarantee or claim to accuracy. No liability is accepted for the consequences from such errors, and no agreement shall be reached on the basis of such errors. Recording, distributing, and any other use of this live chat is not permitted without written permission of Jim Kunkel, that's me. And also for everyone to know, I am recording this session audio for rebroadcasting and to have an archive recording. Now, before I set up the topic for today's live chat, I'd like to cover how you can participate in this live chat. It's really easy. All you have to do is raise your hand. There's a raise your hand icon. If you raise that hand, what you're saying is, hey, I want to come on the stage, I'll open up the mic, and you can participate in the live chat conversation. So this evening, I have a great guest on, a good friend of mine, and we're going to be talking about the importance of consistency with powder coating. I'd like to welcome Mario. Mario, if you'd like to let everybody know your background and also talk a little bit about your passion for powder.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me here. My name is Mario Quiceno. I am from Colombia, South America, but actually I'm living in Canada. I am a mechanical engineer. I am also a member of the Chemical Coaters Association. And I took some courses about powder coating. One was with the Old College of Alberta. And the rest I have in studying for myself. I feel a lot of passion for powder coating, and I also working with a co-worker with more than 10 years of experience, and also my boss that is like a mentor. She has more than 20 years of experience in powder coating, and these two persons are the ones who has been training me in powder coating.
Very good, very good. Mario, let's open up and talk about the importance of consistency. Let me ask you this question. Why does it have to be right with pre-treatment? Why is pre-treatment so important with powder coating?
Okay, so Jim, just for the audience, just let's take I'm going to say a little brief review of this powder coating. So powder coating is a not liquid finish painting process. It's powder, and the powder is a polymer resins particles that are mixed with another components as pigments, modifiers, extenders, and curatives. And powder coating, as I know, they have 5 sub-processes that are hanging on or grounding, pre-treatment, electrostatic spray deposition or painting, curing, that is in an oven, and unloading. So to talk about consistency, we are going to take the first 4 sub-processes. It is hanging or grounding, pre-treatment, painting, and curing. So you are about pre-treatment, Jim. So Jim, it's really important to have the piece clean and seal. So in a pre-treatment, what you are going to do is just clean the piece and take out all the oil, the soils, the debris that are on the piece. And then also you are going to apply a sealer. This sealer, it's preparing the metal. I mean, aluminum or steel or stainless steel, in order to receive the powder and then take the powder without any contamination. And after you apply the powder, it goes to the oven. So it's really important to have all the pretreatment correctly set. Also the guns has to be already set, and the oven, of course, it has to be with the right temperature. For some metals are 420 Fahrenheit degrees, for some are less, but if you have everything set, the only variable that is missing, or that we haven't talked about, is the painter. So the painter has to have consistency. And we are going to talk more about consistency later. Yes, Jim?
Yeah, and definitely talking about consistency. So when it really comes down to it, related to strokes, how many strokes does a substrate need to be painted when you're looking at powder coating? There's a preciseness to it. I'd like you to cover that as well.
Oh, yes, but it depends. It depends, Jim, because there are different formulas in the powder. So some formulas has a formula can have different colors, different gloss, different semi-gloss. So it's really important to know how many strokes you have to apply to a piece with white. Also, how many strokes you can give to a piece with black color. It's not the same. Sometimes, for instance, for white, you with 4 strokes, you can get the mill thickness according to the specifications or according to the needs of the customer. And with the black one, you can give just 3. It's what we are talking here is like more like training and experience, and the training and experience is what is going to give you this consistency that we are talking here.
Yeah, you're right about the training. Prior to me getting into the global protective coatings industry, I started off working for a steel service center in Pittsburgh in the 2000s, and that dovetailed into working into fabrication. And then powder coating became part of it. We had a 750-foot powder coat line, and we were doing a lot of different projects. Some we fabricated, a lot of it we would take on projects that we would just powder coat and put it out that way. For training for the workers, we did our own in-house training, which was really good, but really where we gained efficiencies and a little bit more effective and really being able to squeeze a little bit more profitability out of the operation was we had to bring in third-party trainers to really help train the teams so that they really developed the finesse, and they had a better understanding of the whole process to be able to do it much better, use less material product. You can recycle some of with the powder, your recycling capabilities, and all the things that go into it. Equipment settings, if they're not set properly, or if you're doing things a certain way, and like you said, with the pre-treatment, if it's not done right, it can cause a lot of issues. And then all of a sudden here you have to rework that product over again. When it comes to training for the painters, what are some of the options out there when it comes to powder coating and training?
Okay, well, I think, but for me, the best way of training is like the best buddy. I mean, if you have next to you a person with a lot of experience, um, they can teach you how to set the guns, to paint certain shapes, or to paint a Faraday cage. That Faraday cage are these kind of slots or pieces of the substrate that when the powder coating is not getting into, if you use certain settings in the gun, like reducing the key base or reducing the microamps, you can get in it. But if you don't receive that training, it's really difficult to paint those shapes and that parts correctly, Jim. You have to have somebody to teach you, and also the painter has to study and to
Yeah,
search
definitely
so on.
Okay, you faded out there for a second, Mario. You want to just go back about a minute? You there, Mario?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we didn't hear that last part.
Okay, no, the last part I was saying that the best to have a best buddy, a person with a lot
Okay.
of experience teaching you, and also the painter has to research to make to study by itself, by himself or herself, about powder coating, and all that knowledge is going to give you the consistency to paint properly apart and to paint 100 parts the same way. And yeah, it's the best, but for me the best body, and also a study by her or his own.
Yeah, and also too that the type of equipment that you're using, when it comes to the quality of the equipment, that will help arrive at consistency. But it's really important to arrive at conformity, and then application accuracy is super critical during a powder coating operation and application. Now, let's talk about what could go wrong, and then what impact can you have for the bottom line. And what I'd like to have you talk about is when you're going to have the potential for rework, or you're going to have a rejection by the owner. That's going to build in some extra time. It's also going to impact the use of powder and other expenses as well. Can you talk a little bit about what can go wrong if you don't have that consistency when it comes to application?
Yes. What happened is, like, as you said, when this is not as according to the specifications, or the customer specifications, you have to sand the piece, or you have to redone the piece again. I mean, like, it's a lot of work if you don't do it right. So extra time, powder, gas for the oven, to turn on the thermoreactors again in the oven. So, Jim, it's a lot of things related that, of course, all that means money and expenses that you don't want it because you want a profit. So it's really important to have consistency in order to avoid those extra expenses that maybe could eat all the profits.
Yeah, very understandable. If anyone in the listening would like to come up onto the stage, and I can open up your microphone, just hit the raise your hand. Let me know, and I can have you come up here, open up your mic, and you can participate in the conversation. Or if you want to ask Mario a question, you can do it at that time. So, Mario, let's go in and talk a little bit about reliability of the painter. You recently had wrote an article, and then this is how we've known each other for some time, but the article really caught my attention because in that article, you really laid out a lot of things related to the consistency aspect of what we're talking about, but the reliability of the painter when it comes to them understanding proper settings, dealing with equipment settings, all those things. And in addition to that, they're also going to be focused on their own protection when it comes to, wearing PPE, and then having presence of mind of the process to make sure that it's running in an efficient, effective manner. How important is the painter, not only in the application part of it, but the reliability of the overall operation of that powder coat line?
Okay, we can talk here about two kind of painters.
Yes.
So there is the painter that work in the conveyor line, the guy who is waiting at the booth for the piece to come and paint it properly and fast. And you paint like 100 pieces in X minutes, and the painter that works in a shop that is responsible for hanging, grounding, pre-treatment, setting the gun, um, set the timing and temperature in the oven. I mean the baking time. So it's really important for them to understand all the whole process. It's not just go take the gun and start to spray the pieces. No, it's understanding all the process. Even the one who works in the conveyor line, that he just has to wait for the piece to come, to the one that work in a shop and to have everything. If you have all that knowledge, you understand how to paint the piece. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, as a painter now, a mechanical engineer, but I'm working as a painter now. I love it. And if I understand all the process, all the settings from the loading area to the unloading area, the specification, the technical information in the technical sheets, it's going to help me to believe in me and my boss to believe in what I'm doing, and that is the reliability of the painter to have all this knowledge, not just the gun and how to move the gun and the eye-hand coordination. No, is understanding everything. If you understand everything, you are going to be more helpful, and you are going to understand about the no conformity results or defects on the piece.
Yeah, when the practical side, when you think about it in production run, you're never going to have 100%, perfect run on it. You're going to have some challenges and some issues, but trying to minimize those so that you're not having a lot of pinholing or maybe some fish eyes or any type of thing going on with that material, because it's if you can minimize the rework has to be done, that's going to be better for you in the long run, and also help with the production and in getting it into the customer's hands and things like that. So let's go ahead and move into painter technique and expertise. There are several different training programs out there for the powder coating industry. I remember bringing in third party, and they were pretty much experts that would go through and help a lot of the powder coat operations kind of maybe improve their equipment, and when it came to securing better equipment, bettering the line, how to recruit, how to train, and then they would actually conduct some of the training. What industry resources have you found? And I know that you've communicated with through Maui powder coating, and you've worked with several other entities out there. But what type of training is there from the industry?
Okay, so Jim, before that, I forgot to mention something about the expertise and of the painter. So it's really important also for the painter. I'm sorry to going back. It's really important for the painter to know the proper that he has to use the proper PPE. I mean, when I'm talking about PPE, is the coverall, the disposable coverall, the respirator,
Mm-hmm.
glasses, or full face respirator. So the painter must know that he has to be clean when they are going to change colors, and that is something that makes also the reliability of the painter. I'm sorry, the reliability of the paint, to know that if he is with another powder on his overall and he to blow off himself, that powder is going to fly in another products that are painted maybe with another powder. So it's really important for the choice of the painter to not blow off or to be clean to paint when they are going to change colors. Sorry, Jim. And regarding the training, yes, Jim, there are a lot of resources outside. Not the ones that the company gives you, but you can be a member of the PCI. You can be a member of the CCA, in the Chemical Coaters Association, the PCI, and YouTube has a lot of different videos that can teach you voltage settings, the transfer efficiency, to what happens if you paint too close to the, or if you far away from the piece, which of the substrate, which one gives you more, what gives you more transfer efficiency, or what happens if I put the gun too close to the piece, that cause back ionization. So it's important for the painter not to wait for the company to train him. Just look for the resources that you have on internet.
Yeah, I like that. I like that recommendation. Why wait? if you can find the training that's out there, it better you. But also too, it's also important too for a company to get actively involved and do more than just on the job training, but maybe look at some third party or look at some other opportunities to train and to also improve skills and things like that. Mario, we had a really good conversation this evening. Is there anything kind of in closing that we didn't talk about that you'd want to leave with the listeners?
Well, no, I think that's all. That's all. The message from the painters, new painters, is t- try to, as you said, try to look in, for instance, in your channel, Jim. You have a lot of information about correction cones. There are another channels of Kim Scott from Maui Powder Works, really good webinars. This guy, Jay Kaiser from Lincoln, United States, he has a lot of videos on YouTube explaining the defects, what happened when you change colors, how to set the guns. So all that information. So that's the only thing that I want to add, Jim. The painters or people can find all that information also in internet. And if they can have the money to become a member of the PCI or the CCA, go ahead. It's really good resources. You can find out really good resources over there.
Oh, very good. For people who want to follow you, Mario, do you is it mostly LinkedIn? Have you started a YouTube channel yet?
Yes, I think you in the description you have my the link to my LinkedIn TV, and yeah, I it's not a secret, the Jim, that I am planning. I have a project that is the Powder Coating Pro. It's I'm going to explain there the principles of powder coating, the basics, the secrets, the different kind of powders, and so on. But I am just thinking if I better make the videos in Spanish, because I'm looking a lot. I'm sure researching a lot, and what I found in YouTube is like almost all the information is in English, but in Spanish there are not a lot. So I think I want to transfer all that knowledge to the Spanish speakers.
Yeah, for the corrosion coatings, powder coating, all the industries that you and I work in and around, we need more Spanish language content, and I highly encourage you to pursue that. I think that's important as well. But for everyone listening too, and also everyone who will be listening in the replay of this, please make sure that you follow Mario. Additionally, what I'd like to ask everybody too, I started a LinkedIn newsletter for the Coatings Talk series. It's called Coatings Talk Insights. It's got over 2,000 subscribers. If you're not a subscriber to it, you can go to my profile, look for my newsletters, and become a subscriber for it. With it, it's free, but I cover a lot of good topics related to corrosion and coatings, and also it kind of feeds into the content I have. And then also to make sure you check out the Coatings Talk YouTube channel. As Mario mentioned, there's a lot of older content on there, but there's a lot of recent content as well. And then any type of follow you guys want to give me on LinkedIn, I greatly appreciate it. Mario, thank you so much. This was a very great conversation, and hopefully you and I get to work together on other topics related to powder coating in the future.
Thank you, Jim, for having me here. As I said at the beginning, I really enjoy your show. I think I am the fan number one. So thank you for having me here, and thank you for the audience to listen to me. And I apologize for my English if you don't understand any of my pronunciation. So
No,
thank
English was better than mine. So,
thank you, Jim.
all right, everybody, have a good rest of your evening, your morning, your afternoon, and we'll be talking to you next Wednesday.